We're in a different location and I'm going to show you what I carry around for emergencies in my vehicle. Recently, I started redoing what was in my vehicle as far as just an everyday kit that I always carry in the car. Usually when I'm traveling, if I'm going, I live right outside of Vegas. If I'm going into Vegas, it's about an hour drive. I'll bring more gear with me, or I'll bring a small bug out bag or my work bag, which you can see in another video. But this is really just my emergency gear that I keep in the vehicle. So we're going to start off right off top here. And I'll just tear through and show you what's in there. I've replaced a lot of stuff. I've also added some actual basic tools to this. I have car tools in another container in the car, and I have water storage in another container in the car, and things like road flares and LED flashers and stuff. I have all that in another section. This is just emergency gear. So we're going to start off here. Right here is my amateur radio sign. I have a bunch of these. Pretty much they're a dime a dozen if you're in a ham radio club. I didn't have a place for it, and that's where it ended up living. I'm going to explain this bag later. We'll get to that in a little bit. I'm going to stick it over here. Of course, as we start out, gloves. Always got to have a good pair of gloves. I know it's the desert out here. We don't necessarily get very cold, but we do have a few months that actually get snow and real cold out here. We actually get snow on the ground out here. So, a pair of gloves can be very, very helpful in that situation. I have an extra strap if I want to strap something onto the roof. If I want to strap something down in the car, something like that is handy. I have a few more underneath the seats that are wrapped up neatly, but that was just an extra that kind of got to be overflow. Next thing on, is a rain poncho. Excuse me. Something caught in my throat. Rain poncho I keep right on top. If I have to change a tire in rain or something, I want to be able to grab it right on top and get it. So it's on top there. Now we get into the tools. Now, a lot of these tools are tools that I took out of my larger bug out bag and replaced with better quality. So eventually these are going to get replaced, but for now, they're better than what I had in there before, which was absolutely nothing. A lot of you might remember the Glock knife I got before. I was finally able to put a nice edge on it. So I have that in there for cutting. And for fire starting, I have another one of these large ferro rods. This thing puts off some nice sparks. I've got a little crummy shovel that I dumped from my other bag. Eventually, this is going to get an upgrade. I'm probably going to go with like a cold steel Spetsnaz shovel or something because I don't need the folding ability in this big box. But it's going to get an upgrade. For now, it'll do. A small flashlight, which I will be replacing with a better one, but it's a AA. It's a very common battery. It's got 4 LEDs on it, and it sure as heck is brighter than the big, huge 2 D-cell battery one that I had in here that basically the batteries were dead in. Another little quick, this is a Stanley saw. I'm not going to be chopping down huge trees with it, but it's a start, and it's better than what I had in there before, which was nothing. So, at least I have something to cut up some wood, make a shelter, make a fire. And I have a sharpening stone for the knife. But that's pretty much the tool end of things. We're going to get into, I got some MRE heaters, okay? And got food over here. Basically what I do is every 6 months, I rotate out my MREs. This is all MRE food down here. All MREs on this side. These are sides. These are MRE sides that I toss in. Running out of room to put stuff down. Oh, and I got a lot of these Ameriglow and Coleman snap sticks for light. One of the things I did do, I used to have about 5 or 6 water bottles in here. I'm down to 2 water bottles and this guy. He's an old, regular plastic canteen. I find he held 3 bottles of water and in a much smaller space. Plus, he doesn't get all scrunched up over the years with the heating and the cooling and the heating and the cooling. I've never had water go bad in this kit, but I have had the bottles come out mangled like they've been sucked in. All right, moving on. Mess kit. This is a Regal 1986 U.S. mess kit. Got my silverware in there, got my plate, pot, and I got a little stove. This is originally a sterno stove, but some of you may have seen me use the alcohol stove in this. It also can be used for wood. I've burned wood in this on occasion. Works great. So that's those. I'm going to stick these back in here. Underneath here, got a radio, wind up, and solar and battery. Start putting stuff over here. Got some masks. These come in handy. Ask anybody that was in New York City during the tower collapse. Masks are important. Over here, battery stash. Now, in a car, especially in the desert here where the temperatures shoot up really, really high, you definitely want to rotate these. You want to get rid of the old. You know, they will go bad. Your food, even your MREs. I've never had an MRE myself go bad, but I know in this heat, when I park my car in the summer, you know, it'll go up to 160, 170 degrees in the car. So I definitely take the MREs out every 6 months. Usually it's change of seasons when it gets really hot and then when it starts to cool down. And I just replaced these, so that's why I'm doing this video. Got a tarp. If I need to make some quick shelter, myself a tarp there. I have a fleece sleeping bag. Again, we don't get really cold out here, but when we do, something like this can come in handy. I don't plan on bugging out of the car or camping outside of the car. Those back seats fold down and I can turn this into one huge bed. But it's another blanket, another way to stay warm. And under here, a huge surplus wool blanket that I got from Cheaper Than Dirt. God, I want to say 10 years ago. It is warm. I've actually used this when doing ham radio stuff overnight. This thing is really warm. I won't dig it out because it's pretty much what everybody expects to see. Let's put this over here. All right, moving on. In here, got a bunch of large gauze, bandages, stuff for serious stuff. I have a tourniquet in there. This is stuff for, you know, really bad injuries. Not a basic first aid kit. This is basically blood stopping. I have a Celox Quick Clot in there too, the sponge. Some hand warmers. A couple of these just in case. Hypothermia rescue blankets. Basic first aid kit. This first aid kit's been dumped out probably about 5 or 6 times and replaced because a lot of the stuff in it dries out. The creams dry out. The aspirins probably go bad after being in the sun for 4 years, you know, in the heat in the car. I just recently redid the whole thing, and I was really surprised. The only thing that didn't go dry on me were the alcohol wipes, and normally they go dry pretty quick. Moving on. Toilet paper. Pretty self-explanatory. Tube tent. I got this for free, and it was one of those things that I just tossed in there. But, you know, in reality, this could actually come in handy. If I can't sleep in the car, if I need to provide shelter for something else or someone else, I have a way to do it. Back into here. This is normally a first aid kit, but it isn't for me. Got paracord, water purification tablets, a couple of Esbit tablets in there, and a razor, just in case I want to shave when I'm out there or need to shave anything, you know, like if I cut my arm somewhere really bad and I need to shave it and put a bandage on it, I have it. And after that, got this little guy here. This little guy's a magnet. You notice there's a magnet on the bottom. It's a pretty strong magnet. What it does is it holds your lights, your glow sticks. So, let me move the camera over here. Stick it to the side of the car, stick a glow stick in it, and that will hold it. And it gives me a way to kind of control the light. I can put it on my car if I need to be rescued. Just gives you a way to be seen a little better. This is a big Rubbermaid or Stanley, I forget, tub. All that's left in here is just the MREs. I just recently redid a few. I'm a good infidel. I had to put a pork one in there. Some of these Datarex rations, Mayday rations, I'm sorry. These are apple cinnamon bars. They're actually pretty good. They're not nasty like the normal ones. And that's about it. You know, I greatly removed a lot of the junk from this. I mean, I had so many MRE entrees in here and stuff, and who knows how old they were. I basically got lazy with it. And I've repacked it, redid it, and I just replaced all the food and water, so I figured I'd give you a quick tour. Anyway, that's the kit. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some ideas for it. If you have any suggestions for what to add to my car kit, remember this is only emergency stuff only. This isn't screwdrivers, wrenches, tools, extra parts. That's all in another kit in the car. This is just for emergency and camping and survival type situations. Feel free to leave them in the comments. Don't forget to click like, and thanks for watching. After I finished putting everything back together again, I forgot to tell you what this was about. This is an old, I'm assuming, England or Hong Kong, I'm not sure where. It was from a place called keepshooting.com. It's a rucksack, basically. The reason I have this is because I may need to be on foot. If my car is disabled and I have a 10-mile walk ahead of me, I'm going to want to take some water, some food, maybe a blanket, maybe a poncho, whatever, a tent, and this is how I transport it. Anyway, thanks for watching.